Hey guys, I'm back. I'm tired, exhausted. There are every single planet in the solar system is in retrograde, and I'm tired. I am so glad to be back. I feel like every time I take a break, I've mentioned this every time I come back from a long break, but the summer break in between is so insane. Just how much I miss actively talking like this. I don't know. I always forget how much fun this is, and then I'm here, and I'm like, oh wait, this is great. I love it, and then I'm gone, and I'm just like, what was even that like? It is nice and sunny here in Edinburgh. It has been dreary and rainy, and also sunny, and also hot, and today it's breezy. I don't know what's up with the weather. I mean, it's technically fall. Shout out to all the peeps that have birthdays around this time, fall babies. Absolutely adore it. My mother is born on the first day of fall. I have a very deep whatever. All right, so today we're going to answer some questions. We're going to look at what the stars have to say and the universe and the tarot cards and all that good stuff. But we're also going to play some awesome music. I have missed being back. As always, you can send your questions through my Instagram, or you can send them to Vaquero Radio. Someone will let me know, or you could just comment it on the Radio FX app because we have cute little comment thingy on the app. You can get that on the App Store or the Google Play Store. It's gonna take me a while to get back into the motion of things because I just forget. I was off of this for so long, and I was also not doing my whole job thing. So yeah, I haven't. I've just not been talking outside of classes for months at this point. But yeah, I hope everyone's having an amazing fall semester. For all new incoming freshmen, shout out to y'all. Great choice coming to UTRGV. For all seniors on their way out the door, I will see you at December graduation. I'm so excited to graduate. Am I coming back to do my grad program? Yes. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm genuinely so excited to start, but also why am I doing that to myself? All right, we're gonna cut to some music for a little bit. We have some Ariana Grande, we have some new Beyonce, we have some Doja Cat. And then after that, we're going to come back with some questions and see what all the planets and the stars are up to. All right, this is Moonlit Vibes. I'm DJ Santana, and you're listening to Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station. Alrighty, and I'm back. Sorry about any background noise. There's a whole. I think someone's assaulting trumpets downstairs. I'm not sure. Alright, so there are 6 planets in retrograde right now. That's 3 out of the 9 in our solar system. Uh, okay, so Mercury, which is always going to retrograde and ruining everyone's time, is a planet that deals a lot with communication. Communication, and also represents how we think. And Jupiter, also in retrograde, is how deals with how we attain knowledge. Saturn deals with how we work, which is also in retrograde. The 3 other planets in retrograde are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Those 3 are outer planets that represent the generations that we were born into. So most people have the same planet, in the outer planets as a generation, because generations take time to switch. So, first, the Mercury retrograde. Everyone's biggest fear. Mercury's retrogrades are usually for reviewing the past to understand how the present is dealing and how your present will inform your future and how your past informed your present. It's also about how we've developed everything we understand, how we understand things, the way our logic runs. It's also important to stay open to new ideas and perspectives. But when we're looking back, it becomes super easy to jump back into nostalgia, to think about the things that were better in the time before. I know for me, whenever there's a Mercury retrograde, I'm always like, oh my god, my ex, maybe I should reach out to them. No, you should never do that. The importance of Mercury retrograde is to show you how you were in that moment, not to say, hey, let's go back. Don't let yourself feed into nostalgia. Now, Jupiter is also in retrograde. Well, first, Mercury will leave retrograde October 2nd. So we're almost out. We're literally Sunday, we're done. Mercury will start going the correct way. Now, Jupiter is also in retrograde and will be in retrograde until November 23rd. So basically, we're all just suffering. And Jupiter represents a deeper examination of our life philosophies and how we utilize knowledge to navigate our world. When Jupiter moves into Pisces during the beginning of Scorpio season, shout out to my fellow Scorpios, it's going to be important to set aside time to consider the limits of the things that are around us. What is holding us back? What don't we know? And what can be the catalyst to help us? All right, and Saturn retrograde, which will be going until October 23rd, Saturn represents our need to assess not only how we work, but how we work creatively. Now, that has started June 4th, so if you've noticed from June to now that your work has been crazy, it's important to remember that Saturn's retrograde affects us as employees. And if you're an amazing employee, then there's nothing you need to worry about. As long as you know your work style, it's going to be great. You can stay confident when all these things are going down. But your personality and your skills do affect how you work and how you are perceived and how your methodology when it comes to work affects. Did that even make sense? I don't know. Anyway, Saturn's in retrograde. It affects your work. Don't let it affect your work. Take this time to look at what you can be doing better or what your work can be doing better for you. Remember, you are part of a team in almost every job you have. You are not going at it solo, even if it feels like it. All right, Uranus also in retrograde. Now, since Uranus affects most of generations, I'm so sorry. Someone is beating trombones downstairs. Uranus is the planet of confusion and rebellion, and currently it is in retrograde in Taurus, which might kind of make sense with all the unthinkable things that have been happening. Just straight up chaos. I mean, there's a recession on the horizon. Adam Levine cheated on his wife and tried to name the kid after the affair. What else? What else happened? That was crazy. Oh, that dude from the Try Guys. I never watched the Try Guys, but apparently all y'all millennials are going nuts. So good for y'all. Gen Z out here, not knowing who the Try Guys are. I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of, YouTube teams, I guess. Especially not, predominantly white ones. But that's just me. It's also important during the Uranus retrograde to check in with yourself. And all the things around you, your finances, other natural valuable things. Check in with yourself and check in with the people around you, even if they don't talk. Sometimes it's important just for them to know that you're there and you care. Now, Neptune is going to be in retrograde until December 3rd, and Neptune is the planet of inspiration and illusions. Its retrograde is great for any time that you need inspiration or you're feeling demotivated. It's really, really important to remember that your motivation can be influenced a lot or a little bit based on what you know. Remember not to think small. Don't limit your dreams. You can if you believe it, you can achieve it. Let yourself imagine the wildest, craziest thing you can and then work backwards from that. See how you can start on that path. Finally, Pluto will be in retrograde until October 8th. And, well, Pluto is the planet that often symbolizes death and rebirth, which is why Pluto was so connected to the planet of Scorpio before it got messed up, because it's all I don't know. Listen, me and the astrological community and the astronomy community don't always see eye to eye, because what do you mean Pluto's on a planet? Anyway, during the Pluto retrograde, it is a good time for you to consider what and who you want to speak into your life. The energy that you put out into the world is valuable, and divesting is the first step to moving on and allowing for new growth. So that relationship you just got out of, that friendship you just got out of, that job you just left, or that position that you just left in your job, it's important to remember that, hey, that was a thing that I did, and it's cool. Take the energy from that and put it forth into the new stuff that you're doing. Yeah. All the planets, they just be moving. And towards the end of October, Mars is going to go into retrograde, and Mars will be in retrograde until next year, January 12th, 2023. Mars retrograde is about reflecting on our past achievements and sending little reminders to people about what you've done. It's a great time to build your network and all that good stuff, but we will get into that once we get closer to Mars retrograde. Now, as much as I love, and I love, 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 I'm so sorry. I'm sure you guys can't even hear it, but the amount of like screeching that the instruments are doing downstairs is throwing me off. But anyway, suffice to say, if life has been a little bit crazy for you lately, just blame the planets. They're all in Gatorade. All the planets are in microbraid. All the planets are in Gatorade. They're all in Powerade. They're all moving backwards, forwards, upside down. They're doing backflips. And just blame that. It's not your poor decision-making skills. It's not the fact... It's not the fact that they were taking super long for your job and you didn't get paid all of September. It's not that. It's the planets. Alright, well, I've talked enough. So we're going to take another little music break before we come back with some questions to start us off. And that's great. Okay. Let me just see. Alright, so coming up, we have Charlie XCX. We have Rina Sawayama. We have some... I have not thought about it yet, but you will hear it after this. You're listening to Moonlit Vibes, only on Vaquero Radio, hosted by me, DJ Santana. Alright, that was Butter by BTS featuring Megan Thee Stallion. And now it is time to jump into some questions. Alright, let's see what we have. So, our first question, I kind of get every semester, just because this is how things be. But we have... Wait, what? Oh, sorry. I got a notification and it blocked. I was like, that's not what I had pulled up. Okay, so the question is, how do I know when it's time to change my major? As soon as you're asking yourself that question, it's time to change your major. I don't know. It's weird because I never planned to go to college, funnily enough, and I've gone to 2 different ones, but I never planned to go to college. I honestly was like, I'm just going to get my high school diploma and I'm going to dip. And then I got my high school diploma, and I was like, what if I go to college? Went to SCC, did the thing, I was an English major, and then I was helping my friend, like, what's it called? Oh, I was helping my friend look through the courses that UCRGV offered, saw the course, became obsessed, and here I am, to make a long story short. But as soon as you have to ask yourself, is it time to change my major? It's time to change your major. Because once you get your major, you're kind of locked in. I mean, I guess in theory you can come back and study other stuff, but if you genuinely cannot, if you're sitting in class and you genuinely cannot see yourself continuing this for the rest of your life, baby, I don't know what to tell you. That's going to be a waste of a couple $1,000s. I don't know. Like I mentioned, I started as an English major. I'm now a broadcast major because I love it so much, and I'm here on the radio, and I'm constantly doing things, and I've refound my passion for a lot of things that I didn't even realize that I was like missing when I was studying. And then when I got my job, I realized, oh, this is definitely where I'm supposed to be, just because I could I don't know, I was here and I just everything has just been crazy and I want to go to grad school. And this is coming from someone that literally sat in high school and was like, I am never going to college. Ever, ever, ever. College is not something I'm going to do. College is not something I need. What did I think I was going to do? I genuinely do not know. If we're honest, I was not thinking ahead. I was kind of thinking for the survival of here and now. And it happens. There's so many people that go into college and they assume that they know what they want to do because you're a child, you're fresh out of high school, and you're being told, hey, what do you want to study? And then beaten for the rest of your life. And most of us don't make an educated decision because we just see what our friends are studying or what we think is going to be good to study or, I don't know, something fun. And for some people, they never change their major. And for some people, while they do have a passion for that, they realize that it isn't what they want to study. It isn't what they want to do. It isn't what they can see themselves doing for the rest of their life. And while it does suck that this is something we have to decide as children and then kind of live with that decision till, like, it's over for us, but I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with the decision I made now, but if I had stayed an English major, I don't know where I would be. I probably would have still found a way to come to UTRGV and maybe things would be the same, but maybe things would be different. I don't know. I mean, I'm only here because I was in a class one day and one of my professors was like, hey, radio is looking for DJs. And then I came, I met Sam, who was the DJ at the time. I miss you so much, Sam. If you're hearing this, I love the peeps that are here, but girl, you were my day one. Um, yeah, and now I'm here. Once it comes to like this is your life, you're in university, it's supposed to be a time for you to explore. If you're not taking that time to explore, to actively, I don't know, broaden your horizons, it's it's important. It's an important time in your life. And if you're not taking that time to explore and learn who you are and learn what you want to do, then you're not in a good place. And before I give you any more advice, I'm going to see what the tarot cards have to say. Let's see. All right. You have Temperance reversed. This talks about competing interests, unfortunate combinations, arguments, separation, a corruption of ideals, bad advice. Hopefully not for me. But I don't know. I've met a lot of people in my life and here at the university where they genuinely are so passionate about what they're studying. And it could be something like political science, it could be something like mechanical engineering, it could be something like nursing. And they're just so passionate and they enjoy learning. And I'm so lucky that I found something where I genuinely am excited to learn in my classes. Like I'm that annoying person in class that is like, oh my god, we could do this, 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 and this could lead to this, and da 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 da. But then there are people that know that they are smart enough to finish that degree plan and get a career in that job that they've studied for, but it's not what they want. And listen, I realize that we live in a world where facts are facts, and one of those facts is bills, and bills need to be paid. And you can't always follow your passions, but we're only put on this planet for like once. And I'm not saying you have to live in squalor, but like there are ways to do what you're passionate about. And I'm not saying every single passion you have has to be turned into a job. I'm not. It for some people, they would rather have their passions as hobbies and their job is just a job. That's cool. I can't live like that cuz I'm built stupid. But there are some people that can, and they can genuinely live their life like that, and that's great. But when it comes to university, if you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to look at other possibilities, then you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. There's so much here, and there's so much you could learn, and so many different ways that you could learn. And not giving yourself those chances is it's a disservice. And I think that according to like the cards and everything you've been through, the people around you have kind of been leading you down one path, and now you found something else and you're really interested in it and you want to follow this until the end. That's fine. I'm not the type of person that shames someone for changing their majors. I know there are some people that do that are just like, oh, you just didn't know what you wanted to do. When you're fresh out of high school, you shouldn't be making life altering decisions, but that's just me. That's my opinion. I don't think children should be out here like, yeah, I want to do this and this is it. I don't know. It's crazy. But there is nothing wrong with changing your major. There is nothing wrong with saying goodbye. I mean, if you made friends and you're just worried about that part of it, just keep your friends. I know it's hard. I have friends that I met in like STC. One of them graduated, one of them went on to do something else, and I dipped. And like, we're still besties. They're my ride or die. Can I say that? I don't know. Anyway, it I don't see the point. I don't see the point. Just like if you can't do it anymore, don't. Don't. It just I like bestie, I don't know what to tell you, but this is your life. No one else is going to live it for you. Whoever's pushing you to be in whatever degree you're in that you hate, they are not studying it with you. They are not in there with you, or maybe they are, but they're not going to live your life for you. It's your life. All right, one more question. This is one that I haven't really gotten before. This is how to make a long distance relationship work at a university. So they gave context. They are like person that moved. They're going to university here, and their significant other is not here. They are nowhere near here. I am going to be honest. I'm a little bit biased. I do not like long distance relationships. They make me feel icky. There is just I'm impatient and I'm a very tactile person. I need to be touching and hugging and kissing. Like I'm not I'm not that girl. Like I cannot be hyper distance for most of my life and live my life that way. That's not who I am. That's not what I'm trying to be. That's not what I want. I don't know. The best thing I can tell you without a sort of like bias is to set healthy boundaries. That is the most important thing in any relationship, but especially in a long distance relationship. Set your boundaries. Both of y'all. Openly communicate consistently about what's going on, how you feel. Because anytime that you are just keeping things to yourself, not being honest with yourself, with them with you, with them, babe, it's not going to work. It just isn't. Relationships can't exist like that. You cannot exist just like as it once was. And there's extenuating circumstances. However, girl, you are in a new state. The distance you traveled, you may as well be in a new country. Like, it's okay to say, hey, maybe we should, like, put this on pause. I understand if you don't want to. I do understand that. I understand the concept of high school sweethearts and how that can be a very good relationship as long as you two grow and continue to grow together and allow your love to adapt instead of trying to keep it as it once was. But also, like, I don't know. College is a time to explore your life. Figure out who you want to be. Figure out what you want in your life. It just, I don't know. The hopeless romantic in me wants to say it'll work out and one day, but even the hopeless romantic in me doesn't see this working out unless you guys can figure out some way to bridge the distance in some way, shape, or form. You guys are in two separate universities. Unless one of y'all is going to transfer, I don't know. But healthy boundaries. I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, I've seen relationships with an hour drive between them go to poo-poo. Like, I don't, like, pow. Like, just go to utter mud. I don't know. It just not go great. Not go great. And it sucks. It happens to the best of us. It just, I don't know. You gotta do you. But I feel like once you're older, long distance relationships can be different, almost better. If you guys can both set those healthy boundaries and say, hey, this is what I need from you, is what do you need from me? And both of you actively say that and make that happen. Yes, eventually there's gonna come a point where either they move, you move, both of y'all move. But it's okay to exist. Just know that this state of limbo you're in is not going to last forever. So let's see what the cards have to say. That's enough of me. Alrighty, you got the Queen of Wands. This talks about a kind woman, a country woman, honorable with a loving nature. This tells me that either you or your partner love each other very, very much, and your relationship may have started with like a level of innocence. Just boundaries. The best I can say is boundaries and communications. Communications. Boundaries and communication. But that's important for every single relationship. Just with long distance, there's things that need to be tweaked. But if you can both put in the effort, then you're golden. All right, I have rambled enough at y'all. Coming up, we have some Ari Lennox, we have some Bad Bunny, we have some Caliuchis. You're listening to Moonlit Vibes, only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station. Alrighty, that was Telepatia by Miss Caliuchis. Also, I found that alrighty is my little like broadcast tick. Every time I'm like starting a new sentence or I'm starting a new segment, I'm always like, alrighty. I irritate myself. Anyway, it has been so amazing to be back. I have missed this so much. I love the radio. I always forget how much I love it until I'm back here, and then I'm like, I love it so much. But I will be back weekly every Thursday at 3:30 if you want to ask me a question, if you need some advice from me or the tarot cards. What you can do, and this always works. So you have to go to like a store, you have to buy some plant seeds. So you're going to get the seeds, you're going to put them in your hand, you're going to whisper your question into them. Then you're going to plant the seeds. Alright, the seeds will bloom. No matter what kind of seeds you got, they will bloom into lilies because lilies are my favorite flower. And then a bird is going to come and snatch up one of the lilies and bring it to me, and the lily will tell me your question. The bird will not learn your question, but it might drop the flower on its way here, so if I don't get to your question, that's probably what happened. I mean, if you're not as, like, fun and you don't want to go buy plant seeds, because, you know, money's tight, we are in a recession, you can always just send something through our Instagram, send something through the Radio FX app. You can send it to my Instagram, the Vaquero Radio Instagram, I don't know. Send a bottle through, chuck a rock with a note through the window. Don't do that, please. Actually, that's very bad. But before I go, I want to leave off with the song that started it all. The song you heard in my Stinger. The song that, like, literally was one of the first songs I ever played when I was here. Yeah. Alright, this is Eclipse by Kim Lip from Luna. I will see y'all next week at 3:30 on the dot. Do not be late. I am very impatient, which is funny because I don't drive, so I'm usually always late to places, but whatevs. Anyway, this is Eclipse by Come Up of Luna. Enjoy the rest of your week.